Hello guys, in today's tutorial we'll teach you how to make this origami leaf. It's a fairly complex model, recommended rate of a higher intermediate. It's pretty cool looking, and that's just all there is to it. Yeah, so I would suggest a 6-inch square of paper. Nothing specifically origami paper, because when you create the stem, it gets a little bit thick and it gets difficult. Also, I don't suggest anything less than 6 inches. I've never tried anything smaller or bigger, but from my judgment, 6 inches is a good rate. Another thing, I know it's almost spring, and this is an orange sheet of paper, but personally I think leaves look a lot cooler in orange. So you're gonna start off white side up, fold diagonally in half both ways. Try to be exact. It's not the utmost thing, but it's nice. It's nice to be exact. But this is coming from a perfectionist in some areas. Right, so there we go. Unfold and do the Okay. Unfold and do the same on the other side. For some reason, I don't know why, but my origami paper is a little bit inexact, like as you can see here. It's off by a couple millimeters, and it drives me crazy, but for this model it doesn't really matter if you're off by a couple millimeters. I think it doesn't matter. I've never tried it, and I don't hope to ever do. Right, so now that you've got this, you're gonna fold this corner to the middle, but you're gonna pinch it. So you're gonna fold this corner this point to the middle, and you're gonna pinch the middle and the two edges. You're not gonna crease the entire thing, because then it will make the model look linear instead of random like this, even though that was actually patterned to a certain degree. Right, just like this. Right there, unfold, do the same on the other side. Right, so there you got it. Now you're gonna fold this point. It looks like it's fully creased, but it's not. Now you're going to fold between these 2 points, a crease between here. You're going to do the same thing as you did with here. You're going to pinch the middle and the two sides. Yeah. Right, unfold and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now you're gonna fold this edge, these two edges, to these two creases here. the new ones we just made. And you're gonna fold completely. You're gonna do the same on this side. Okay, so now we're gonna create the stem. Literally the hardest part of the model. So, we're gonna mount and fold this middle crease that we first started with, right in the middle of the model. And you're gonna lift it up like this. We're gonna fold it to this side. It doesn't matter actually. You can fold it to this side and this side. It would just be better to fold it to both sides just for clarity. And you're gonna pinch the middles and the edges. Well, no, not really. Yeah, I'm just gonna readjust this crease here. Like I said earlier, I am a perfectionist, and in some areas, and sometimes a lot of things drive me crazy. Right, we're gonna do the same on the other side. Once again, I assure you, I did not crease these things completely. By the time you finish with your model, even if your pinches do look like it was creased completely, you'll have so many other creases, it will be insignificant. Right, so there we go. The same thing, we're gonna do the same thing except between these two creases now. So you're gonna fold it up and pinch the middle and the two sides on both sides. There we go. Right, and we're gonna do it one more time. This time though, we're gonna fold one way. We're gonna fold this middle crease up to the new crease that we just created, and we're gonna fold it completely. Why can't I do this? Okay, this side works well. This side doesn't. Okay, there we go. Right, there you go. Now that is not your stem, so don't risk it. Now you're gonna fold. You're gonna fold between. You're gonna fold between the crease I just made and you're gonna fold in between here. So basically you're gonna fold this flap in half. If you want to, you can do this. I suggest doing it just so it gives you markers. You can do it part of the model, not completely necessary to do it the whole way through. Just be careful when doing it because you don't want to undo your model or create. No, you don't want to create this crease where you don't want it. Right, so now that that's there, you can fold it in half. Right, so there we go, we have our nice, very nice looking, slightly crinkly stem. So you're going to turn over. Okay, this is where you need to be really careful. If this was origami, I would tape this stem together to make life so much easier. Or glue it. It would be better to glue it, not tape it, because then it would get too thick. Right, so you're gonna fold this edge towards this line. Right there. Turn over and do the same thing, folding this edge to that line. Crease sharply. Right, so there we go. I'm sure it's pretty obvious to tell top from bottom. So now we're going to fold this in half. From here to here. It's a crease that's already been made. So, again, this is where stuff gets tricky. Don't undo the stem whatsoever. Try not to undo the stem. Right, so there we go. If these if these side flaps flare out, it doesn't matter. It won't. Just make sure they don't flare up too much. Like, as you can see, it's only about, mine have only flared out about 2 millimeters or so, 2 or 3. Focus. There we go. So now we're gonna fold this flap in half. Again, make sure not to undo this crease. It's best to reinforce it like 30 times. That's an exaggeration, but It's pretty close. Fold this crease in this flap in half. Right, so there we go. Now you're gonna fold down, and this crease, yeah, I've made a model origami, I'll show you in a little bit. This crease is gonna be half a centimeter. This crease is gonna be a centimeter away from this line and a little bit more. Here's the model in my super neat handwriting. Which one is it? Right here. The distance between this is the crease, this bar right here, and this is the distance, which is about 1 centimeter and 2 millimeters. I haven't measured that. That was a complete estimate. So 1 centimeter. About 2 millimeters. A little bit back. And there we go. That's about it. Then fold completely. Layering a little bit too much, but if it gets too unbearable, I'll fix it. So this is just a little kink. I'm going to ignore it because it'll take way too much time to put it back together. Right, so now we're gonna fold, sort of like a fish fold, which is where you fold this and this together and you flatten it. We're gonna do something similar between this point and this point, between these 2 points and these 2 points. So what we'll get is something like that. There's one. There's the other one. Right, so there, and I forgot to say, but you got this flap that will be sticking up. Just flatten it to one side. I could care less about where it doesn't matter where it is. So, now, for the second part. This part is equal, well, if you didn't find this hard, good for you. But I've done this 4 times, and on the 4th time, which is this time, this is the only time I've mastered it. Either that or it was luck. But I doubt it was luck. Origami, there's no such thing as luck. It's like doing maths. You don't get luck. It's not lucky, you get the problem, right? So, I'm gonna fold a valley mountain fold. That's backwards. That goes almost parallel to this crease and as close to this vein as you can. See, there. My vein came undone. Okay, I'm gonna warp these folds a little bit. So, under the circumstances, that all looks pretty much the same. If you want a perfect vein, you'll spend a lot of time trying to figure this out. See, you still got, mine is still working almost perfectly fine. For this one. I spent a lot of time on that though. So, now that we got that covered, sort of, we're gonna fold backwards, like this. And we're gonna push backwards until the crease that we've made up there meets with this point. So it will be sort of like this point. It will be sort of like the fish fold we just made, but in a different manner. I forgot what these folds are called. I don't even know if they got a name. Typically you want the edges to line up, which may require some alterations with your pre-crease that you made. It's alright also if your stem bends, because technically speaking your leaf should have a bend in it. Right, so there it is. Just like that. I'd straighten it up so you can actually do this side properly. Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing, making a crease. Actually, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So what we're going to do first though, is we're going to lay it down. And we're going to fold this crease backwards on the middle line, using the middle stem as a marker. Try as hard as possible not to make this flap over. Well, no, never mind. Just ignore what I just said. Okay, so now that we got that done, we're going to do the same thing on this side, excluding the step that I just did, this step where you fold that out. So, using my broken stem, this is going to be extremely hard. Alright, so now that we got that crease done, thankfully I didn't torture my stem yet. I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh, and this crease can go underneath this flap at the back, on top of this crease that we made earlier, just before this. Okay, I don't know how, but I must have made a mistake somewhere along the line. But my stem magically curved. Maybe there is such a thing as luck in origami. But if yours doesn't, it shouldn't, I don't know how it happened, so it won't affect the way you see things on my camera and the way you see things when you do your origami. So now the next step, we're going to have to shorten this like these zigzags that we've done here. So basically you're going to fold this crease backwards along that line we just made. Also, this is going to require a little bit of meshing. Not really origami skills I'm proud of. Where you just smash paper in somewhere because there's no space and you couldn't fit it in. There, I did it. But now my stem came undone. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break, because this is going to take some time off camera. And I'm going to rearrange my stem, and then I'm going to come back, hopefully, with the same type of model. Okay, right, I fixed it. So, yeah, that's good. So now we're going to fold our other flap, this flap, I'm going to fold it behind. I do realize that even though I've done this, your Origami Leaf probably won't have the same pleat folds as mine. I know it's pretty hard to actually show you how to do it. So the best method would be to keep on doing the way I've showed you, which includes a little bit of stuffing, but to pleat these outlaying flaps, to pleat them back and forth until they're hidden behind the stem. So that would be the best way. Like this, you pleat them like this. You go one way and then you go the other way. So then, like that. Sort of. So now I'm gonna fold behind here. Okay, I'm gonna fold a little bit more behind here. And there, I just about have it. I do realize my stem did come out a little bit wonky. Yeah, but it'll be alright. If you guys need any help, just ask in the comments. I'll try and put another video in to explain some of the parts. Just make sure to put in the comments what your problem was, because I don't. It's tiring to make. It would be tiring to make another full video. So now for the second part, you're gonna fold this third part actually. You're gonna fold this back like this, so that you got a nice leaf. Then you're gonna round the edges, which consists by folding them back. All the sharp edges, like that. Like that. There, like that, and then rounding these sharp edges even more. If you can't, it's no big deal. Right, so then round these edges. These ones. Alright, so they're like it's sort of ovalish. Don't know why. But maybe if you rounded these some more and maybe rounded these. Or even if you, yeah, it's probably rounding these to make it look more curved in. Alright, so there we go. So now fold this part down. Only a little bit. That was a little bit too much. And guess what? Round it. Right, so there we go. Basic outline, stem complete, and weirdish thick stem complete, and almost everything. So now there's two ways to create the veins. You can either create certain half marks or quarter marks on this middle vein by pinching it and then spread off there, or you can just do it randomly. I find it hard to do stuff randomly. I don't know about you, but I find it hard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm not even going to bother trying to be exact. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to pinch. I'm going to fold it in quarters. Pinch. Fold this in half. Pinch. Fold this in half, a little bit randomly, sort of. There. So now it's sort of like doing the vein where we had to this middle vein where we had to fold in a flap and then fold it in really tightly and smallly. Who's ever heard of that? So it's sort of like that, except here you just barely lift up the model and lay it flat. Like, you lift it up and then as soon as you lift it up and then like fold it down just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. There, like that. You do that all over the place. Your leaf will bend quite a bit, so it makes it look more natural. Yeah, sort of like that. I'm pretty sure I can see it coming along. I don't know about you. So I'll do half a side for you, and then it should be pretty, once you've done half a side, it'll be pretty easy to do. Also, once you've done a side, it's probably best if you round some more, because it can cause some gaps thingies, some juts like this. So they're like this. So this is like the really undetailed version of the other leaf I showed you. But it's good enough to get the picture across. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so if you got any questions or you want some help in certain parts, just post a comment with the certain parts that you need help with, and I'll try to make another video shortly. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and like again if that was possible. Yeah, thanks.